and welcome to the Health Promotion and Global Health Satellite Graduate Ceremony. I am Dr. Heather Whipfley. I am the newly appointed director of these undergraduate programs, and it is my absolute honor to be able to welcome you to this beautiful ceremony today. There's no doubt that we have the best graduation spot on campus. This is a beautiful room. I'm going to leave all of the wise words to our speakers today and be very short, but I did want to just say a few small words to our graduating class today because I know so many of you so well, and it's just been such a pleasure to be your professor over the past 4 years. We've had so many unique experiences together. I know you in person, I know you online, I know you with masks, and sometimes I don't know you anymore without them. But it's really a thrill to be here in person with all of you today, and I'm so proud of all of you. I also want to just make a really warm welcome to all of our families. Congratulations to all of you parents and grandparents and siblings and other supporters here. Thank you so much for all you've done to get our graduates to this spot today. And I do know what many of your dining rooms look like after our Zooming experiences. It's just such a pleasure to be able to recognize all of you. And I also want to make a special recognition of our faculty here today. We wouldn't be here without your tireless effort, your dedication, your commitment to education, to scholarship, and to the students themselves. So thank you so much. It's also my pleasure to welcome to the stage Dr. Roberta McKean-Cowden. She is a professor in the Department of Population and Public Health Sciences and is the Vice Chair for Education. She has a PhD in epidemiology with a focus of her research on risk factors for breast and CNS cancers, as well as vision impairment and the impact of vision loss on quality of life. She has been a mentor to many master's and PhD students as an enjoyed teaching epidemiology for the past 15 years or more. Thank you.
Hello. I also would like to give a warm welcome and congratulations to all of our students in health promotion and disease prevention and global health, our graduates for 2022. We're very happy to share the celebration with you, your family, and your friends who are visiting our campus here today. You worked hard to earn your degree today, and you deserve this moment of recognition. And celebrations help us to transition our identity in our lives to a new one. They help us to recognize the growth in ourselves and to invite families and friends to travel on that journey with us. So this is a special day. You're a special group of graduates, ones that have focused and persevered during the uncertainty of the pandemic and social change. You did it. You worked hard, you met your goals, you earned the degree, and now you've earned the opportunity to move on to new ventures and new directions and changes in your life. That's amazing. I know that Dr. Whippley, the faculty here and the faculty that couldn't be here, and the staff in the program who've worked hard alongside you for the last several years are cheering you on as you go on to the new phase and the new exciting activities that you have planned in your life. We're proud of you, we're pleased for you, and grateful to have you in our Trojan family, and I say, fight on.
Okay, and our next speaker will be Dr. Richard Watanabe. Dr. Watanabe is a professor of biostatistics and is the Associate Dean for Health and Population Health Science Programs at the Keck School of Medicine. He is a first-generation, 3-time Trojan, fight on, and does research on genetics and pathophysiology of type 2 diabetes. Dr. Watanabe has been in the Population and Public Health Science faculty member for over 20 years. Dr. Watanabe.
Thank you, Dr. Whipfley, and Congratulations, class of 2022. Now, as both Dr. Whipley and Dr. McKean-Cowan has already said, you guys have faced all kinds of unique adversity. You're going to be a unique cohort of a few classes that had to do your educations through the pandemic, right? That transition to online teaching, from online back to in-person, my daily testing, mask wearing, et cetera, et cetera. So you have achieved something very, very unique. But at the same time, you did this not in a vacuum. You had all kinds of support. So at this moment, I want to ask the class of 2022 to please stand up. I want you all to turn around and give your family and friends and your loved ones a big round of applause. Because without them, you can be seated. Thank you. Without them, you wouldn't be here today, right? I know you all studied hard, you had to put up with your professors, you had to put up with all kinds of things, but every step of the way, your family, your friends, and your loved ones were there for you. It's a little anecdote. Some of you have heard this story I've told before, but on the day that Mayor Garcetti declared that we were sheltering in place, I had to stop by and get gas for my car. I walked into, this was one of those gas stations that had a 7-Eleven. I walked in and there was a guy at the counter with like a dozen wine bottles, right? And then the person behind the counter was going, "Oh, we're having a sale on such and such." "Oh, where?" And he points to the back of the store and the guy runs back there, comes back with another half dozen bottles of wine, right? So those of us standing around in there were like sort of chuckling. And he looks at us, he goes, "Didn't you hear? We're sheltering in place. I gotta live with my wife and my kids." So your parents and your family and your loved ones also had to face their own hurdles as you made this transition to this day, okay? I know you don't want to hear me pontificate or sort of wax very unpoetically, so I will keep this very, very short. The one thing I will say is that, and those students who have taken my classes, and you've heard this before, and I apologize because you're going to hear it again, but all of you as future medical, health, or other scientific professionals, it is your responsibility to be out there teaching the public about public health and teaching the science that they need to understand to maximize their ability, as Spock used to say, to live long and prosper, okay? And that's something that you need to take away as you go on and do those next steps that you're gonna do, right? And as you do that, I want you all to remember that it's a crazy world out there, right? But remember to lean on your training. Don't forget to be honest, to maintain your integrity, and to always look out for yourself to make sure that you stay healthy and you can lead the public, all right? Thank you very much, and congratulations again to both graduates and family members.
Thank you. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Howard Hu, a physician scientist and the Flora L. Thornton Chair of the Department of Population and Public Health Sciences and professor in the Keck School of Medicine at the University of Southern California. Dr. Hu has led international teams investigating the determinants of adult chronic disease and impaired child development in population-based studies around the world, generating over 350 publications and winning many awards along the way. Currently, he leads the Global Burden of Disease, Pollution, Climate, and Health Initiative and co-leads the USC COVID Pandemic Research Center. He also serves on the board of directors of Pure Health and on the advisory board of Physicians for Human Rights, for which he served as on four fact-finding missions and which was co-winner of the Nobel Peace Prize in 1997. Dr. Hu.
Thanks, Heather. It's such an honor to lead this department. But first things first, I'm going to take a selfie. All right. Everybody say Chichamanga. Now, we might have taught you a few things, students, but you also taught us things as well, including the value of Instagram and all the other things that we need for modern communications. And this is going to be a two-way street going forward, because you're going to be learning things, doing things that we need to hear about, because the world is changing so fast, and you're going to be part of it, and we want to be part of it too. I had the pleasure of arriving in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic to lead this department, and it's a big department. For the families that don't know about this department, we have over 110 core faculty in 6 divisions, 3 institutes, 16 research centers. We are ranked number 2 in the country for departments of population and public health. This is an amazing faculty that have had the privilege of teaching your children. But the children here will also be spreading the word and the ideas and the concept far and wide. But the pandemic, when I arrived, shrank all of us into these little Zoom windows, each of us trying to manage our affairs and operate behind a curtain of semi-anonymity, sort of like little individual Wizards of Oz. But as we get vaccinated and take our masks off, as you come out of your shells and graduate, know this: the world has changed. Before it changed, let me just tell you this story. Some years ago, I was once at a fundraiser at a big hospital, and I was introduced as, oh, Howard who? He's the epidemiologist. And I went to the buffet line, and an elderly couple came up to me, and the man sort of tugged at my sleeve, and he said, Dr. Who, I thought I'd ask you some advice. I went to my physician a few weeks ago. I had a pain in my groin, and he diagnosed epididymitis, so I figured I'd consult an epidemiologist about what to do. Well, the world has changed. The entire world now knows what an epidemiologist is. Moreover, you're going to bring far more than that to your colleagues, your coworkers, your bosses around the world, no matter what career you end up: medicine, public health, law, film, communications, engineering, or simply being a parent and engaging in civil society. You bring into the world a firm grasp of the importance of population health, biostatistics, behavioral and environmental risk factors, prevention, and the value of all the policies that promote prevention. You can discuss global health and the associated interconnectedness of all of us in the world, and why health in far corners of the world actually has implications for health of us all. What better case study than the current pandemic that we're living in? You will be the enemy of health disinformation and the ambassadors of a way of thinking that can help us all figure out how to improve our lives and stay healthy. We are awfully proud of all of you, and really would love to have you continue being connected with us through our alumni network while you enjoy your education, advance public health in the world, and become successful and have your own lives. Congratulations, graduates. Fight on.
Thank you, Dr. Hu, and the rest of the faculty again from Population and Public Health Sciences. It's now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker today, Dr. Grace Boyd. Dr. Boyd is a physical therapist who works at Rancho Los Amigos National Rehabilitation Center, where she primarily treats underserved communities, including low-income, Latino, and/or Black patients in the inpatient neurorehabilitation setting. Dr. Boyd serves on a variety of organizations working towards a more diverse and inclusive physical therapy profession, including the CPTA Diversity Affairs Committee and the USC Physical Therapy and Biokinesiology Black Alumni Association. Dr. Boyd enjoys Boyd enjoys doing community outreach by speaking at high school and college events to educate and encourage the next generation of underrepresented minorities to explore and learn about healthcare. Dr. Boyd.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Wifley, for the introduction. It is such an honor to have been selected to give the commencement address to such an impressive group of graduates from my alma mater. I would like to congratulate all of you for making it through your undergraduate journey and graduating from such an amazing major at one of the top universities in the world. And when I say all of you, I really do mean all of you in this room. Congratulations to the family, friends, and supporters who have helped these graduates along the way. Your commitment, sacrifices, and love are essential reasons why we are here. The road to this day was not easy, and it could not have happened without all of your hard work and determination. Today, I want to share a little bit about my journey and path I took in becoming a physical therapist. I was embraced by this university 7 years ago as a health promotion undergrad student and almost 5 years ago as a graduate student. Throughout these years as a student, I reflect on how USC has served a huge role in shaping me to be the advocate, physical therapist, and person I am today by challenging me to think critically, efficiently, and ethically every day. As you all know, health promotion and global health are special majors that make students think about the bigger picture. Yes, it's important to learn about biology, chemistry, and physics to work in the health professions, but it is just as important, if not more so, to understand and have knowledge about general health and well-being in society. There are so many classes that I took as an undergrad student that I referred to while becoming a doctor of physical therapy that helped me think about the whole person instead of the whole in a person. I am proud to say that I am an alumna because of the people who taught me this distinction and who gave me the foundation to be empathetic and perceptive as a clinician and, most importantly, as a person. Currently, I work as a physical therapist on the neuro rehab service at Rancho Los Amigos. If you would have told me I would be working here 5 years ago to this week after I graduated from this program, I would have not known how I ended up in this position. To give some context, before I started grad school, I did not know too much about PT in the neurological setting. I had volunteer experiences in sports and outpatient clinics, but never thought I would be interested in working in a hospital. Back then, I was so determined to be the next Lakers PT that I never stopped to think about my interests in other settings. See, I was brought to this profession the way that many students are brought to physical therapy, through sports. I was injured playing high school basketball, met my physical therapist, and saw myself doing what she did. Now, what solidified my goal of becoming a physical therapist was hearing the late, great Kobe Bryant call his PT, Dr. Judy Cito, his secret weapon. I thought, how awesome must this lady be for the great Kobe Bryant to call her his secret weapon to success? Hearing that solidified my dream to be a PT. While here at USC, I even had the opportunity to meet Kobe and tell him, I'm going to be your physical therapist one day. I just knew I wanted to be just like Dr. Cito. Yet here I am, not even thinking about working on a sports team, and instead passionate about the patients I see with a neurological diagnosis while being an advocate for underrepresented minorities in my profession. My area of interest changed with classes, experiences, and clinical rotations, as well as discussions from mentors about keeping an open mind. I still consider myself a secret weapon for the patients I see. I advocate for my Latino and Black patients who make up more than 3/4 of the population I see because I learned from my health promotion degree. These patients are often overlooked and are at a disadvantage in our healthcare system. This is just one of the many ways I use this degree as a secret weapon for society. Over the last couple of years, I have prided myself in mentoring pre-physical therapy students as well as current PT students of color about the profession. Now, many of you may not be going into physical therapy. However, I do want to share some advice I offer the students that was once offered to me. First, keep an open mind and be okay with change. Many of you may have a 5-year plan with a vision of where you'll be working or going to school. I warn you all today, this more than likely will not happen as you planned, and that's okay. This advice was once shared with me as I was anxious about the fact that I was no longer interested in working in sports. Once I let go of that vision I had, I was open to finding my true passion, and I am much happier for it. Throughout life, I encourage you all to participate in a variety of work settings, clinical rotations, or explore extracurricular activities that you are passionate about. And try out new hobbies, as you may find your interests change, just as mine did with time and experience. Second, continue to grow professionally outside of your primary career. I have always been passionate about DEI efforts, and while in school, I joined the graduate student government as the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Health Science campus. I knew I wanted to be involved in making USC a more equitable and just campus for graduate students, especially underrepresented minorities. But I did not know how to continue this road of advocacy outside of school. Once I graduated, I stayed in touch with professors and mentors I met throughout my graduate program, who helped me direct to opportunities, continuing my work and passion for DEI efforts. One of my professors formed the Diversity Affairs Committee for the California Physical Therapy Association and invited me to be part of it because he knew my interests back when I was a student. Dr. Sean Johnson, who has been a mentor to me since I was an undergrad, reached out to me when the USC PT and Biokinesiology Black Alumni Association was forming because he knew of the outreach and work I have done in recruitment of Latino and Black students as a student. My advice, as I mentioned before, is to explore opportunities you are passionate about outside of class. Build those connections now, and the opportunities to grow professionally will be there. This is the beauty of the Trojan network and family. Last, be an advocate for those you serve and yourself. At Rancho Los Amigos, I see many patients who are from low-income or disadvantaged communities that lack the education and knowledge that many private hospitals patients may have. Many times during my sessions with patients, I offer time for them to ask any questions they have about their health, whether it's time to need recover to their strength, foods to eat or avoid if they have diabetes, or even how to avoid having another stroke. I spend the time needed to make sure these questions get answered by myself or by the full medical and healthcare team. Whenever possible, I advocate for these patients to get the time and care that they deserve because I have the privilege of graduating from this very program that taught me about gender and minority health disparities in society. I hope this advice can help you in your journey beyond your undergraduate career. I am happy and grateful to share my experience with the next generation of leaders in our world. I want to leave you with a quote from one of the most inspirational and hardworking individuals of our generation. A guidance counselor once told Kobe Bryant that he should not pursue his dream of basketball because eventually his career would amount to nothing. The great Kobe Bryant once said, "You can't stop people from trying to limit your dreams, but you can't stop it from becoming a reality. Your dreams are up to you. I encourage you to always be curious, always seek out things you love, and always work hard once you find it." You began your dream on your first day on campus, but your adventure does not end here. Your opportunity in making a difference in this world will continue whether you decide to take a gap year, go straight into the workforce, or if you're continuing your education with a graduate degree. And although it may feel like the end of the road, you are all at a crossroad with many different and exciting paths in front of you. I challenge you all to choose those paths wisely. Choose a path that will ultimately lead to your happiness and continue the dream that you started here. Good luck on your journey and fight on.
Thank you, Dr. Boyd, for making us all look so good. It's now my pleasure to introduce our student speaker for today's event. Kane Vu is an esteemed trustee scholar of the Global Health Program. He is currently pursuing a master's degree in the Global Medicine program at the Keck School of Medicine and will complete that degree in the fall. Outside of academics, he's co-president of WorldMed, a philanthropy-based student-led organization on campus. Kane is graduating summa cum laude and will be applying to medical school in the upcoming cycle. Welcome, Kane.
Thank you, Dr. Whipley, for the introduction. Dear family, friends, in the class of 2022, first off, congratulations to all the graduates. It was a long and arduous journey, but we're here now. We made it. So while we celebrate today, it's important to give thanks to everyone who came and made our experience possible. I'm honored to speak here in front of all the students and faculty, and I thank you to the Keck School of Medicine for giving me the opportunity to stand on this stage. And thank you to our advisors, Steve Perry and Din Nguyen, for Dr. Nizami and Angela Turk in the Global Health and Health Promotion Office. Your mentorship through the years has been priceless. When my friends complain how difficult it is to schedule advising appointments in their respective majors, my only response is to reference the time I showed up without an appointment, accidentally interrupted Steve's meeting, and then he still spent 15 minutes reworking my schedule. For the Global Health and Health Promotion Office, your commitment to us students is unmatched at USC. And thank you to our esteemed professors and teachers. You've gone above and beyond for us, both in and out of the classroom. I truly cannot thank you enough for devoting your lives to shaping us. No matter what path we take after graduation, I hope we can stay in touch, because we will always need your guiding wisdom. And thank you to our friends and family who have stood by our sides through all the ups and downs. I want to personally thank my dear friend Sarah for helping me edit the speech, and for my family, my mom, my dad, and my brother for being my rock. I'm not sure anyone except family would sit through my complaints of bombing my first Chem 105A exam. And thank you especially to the class of 2022. All of this could not have been possible without you. As peers and classmates, we've supported each other and have shown the strength of Trojans. We've accomplished so many feats in these 4 years. I can't wait to see what comes next. So I'm fortunate to write this speech because it gave me time to reflect on my journey. Students, I encourage you to reflect as well. In the next few days, after all the excitement from graduation slows down, I hope you can sit back and take some time to remember the important parts in your journey. And to the parents and the faculty, I hope that you can remember the thrill of your college days too. So I drafted an open letter to USC about my college life and my experience, which I'd like to share with you. Dear University of Southern California, thank you for the experience of a lifetime. The first time I set foot on this campus, I had no idea what my future would hold. College was this intimidating yet exciting mystery, and the only way to solve the mystery was to experience everything one step at a time. It was scary to have freedom, but it was also exhilarating. Initially, my only priority at USC was to prepare myself for medical school. I've been wanting to become a doctor for about as long as I can remember, and achieving that goal of becoming a doctor was the only thing that mattered. This took sacrifices. Instead of going to parties, I studied for my bio midterm, and instead of playing tennis, I worked on those HP group presentations. But looking back, I had tunnel vision. All I cared about was maintaining my STEM GPA. Then I began taking classes in global health. I loved the major because it provided me another perspective on serving the population other than the pre-med path I was initially so focused on. I remember in HP 270 when we reorganized the chairs to mock debate live current issues in the WHO. Beyond being a great exercise, the debate was fun. Then in HP 40, I remember turning off the lights and taking 10 minutes out of class to practice meditation and mindfulness techniques. For the first time, believe it or not, the horrors of OChem were no longer keeping me up at night. HP 270 and 440 ignited my passion for the major because they taught me about relevant health issues and disparities I would have never known about. I came to college with this one-track mind of becoming a doctor, and global health opened my eyes. It gave me the freedom to explore other avenues outside of medicine. Yet, even more important, that idea of freedom that helped me escape a restricted pre-med focus extended beyond academics. When I came to USC, I came with 3 of my close friends from high school. Having these friends, I didn't feel the need to develop other relationships. After all, my goal was to focus on my STEM GPA. Relationships could never be more important than my future. And it was scary to think about meeting new people. The idea of putting myself into new situations and striking up conversations with strangers was intimidating. I felt comfortable having that restricted set number of friends. This mindset, of course, was subject to change. Let's rewind the clock back to dead week freshman year. All those long nights studying in lounges, hyped up on caffeine, but still half asleep at the same time. When I took finals especially seriously, on the night 2 days before the exams began, I found myself overexhausted, almost delirious, in a lounge with my roommates. I had been studying since 10 a.m., and it was now 3 a.m. Instead of drinking another Red Bull to stay awake, we started playing cards. A few minutes later, there was this knock on the door, and our neighbors from across the hall asked if they could come in and play with us. We said, of course, and we dealt them in, and before we knew it, we were talking and playing and asking the basic questions like, where are you from, and what major are you? We played until we saw the sunrise. So this isn't the most exciting night I've had at USC. It was a simple night of playing cards. Yet I remember it vividly because it was my first time my perspective changed. I realized that college is a place of discovering new passions, similar to learning about global health and finding a different path to health outside of becoming a doctor. But more than just academics, college is about relationships. It's about the friendships we've made that will last us a lifetime. I'm so grateful for those little moments in those lounges at 3 a.m. where I bonded with strangers. These moments set me free to branch off from that set group of friends I entered college with. I've been fortunate to make new relationships, and these relationships have both grounded me and inspired me to fulfill my potential. Without these friendships, I couldn't have pushed myself to perform my best, and no one would have held me accountable for my mistakes. It's inexplicable. In my lowest moments, my friends picked me up from the bottom. At my highs, no celebration was complete without celebrating with them. And as we graduate, I will always miss the teasing, the humor, and the inside jokes. Sharing my hopes and my dreams with my close friends is the best feeling in the world. So USC, thank you. To me, you're not defined as an institution or even as a place of learning. You're defined by my friends that have become family. Before I leave, I wanted to share one quick story with everyone. In my high school graduation, I was fortunate to hear from one of our faculty speakers about her career path. She said growing up, she always aimed for a top research position to work in a prestigious lab. All her choices were devoted to this goal, and after attending Stanford and graduating with a PhD, she achieved that goal. She left the lab soon after and began teaching at our high school. Her life, she said, was driven by one idea: reach her goal, be the best. She realized that wasn't what she wanted. That one goal, that one love, was outweighed by all the relationships she's made as a teacher. I still remember what she said 4 years ago. I hope for you students to not have a life of one big love, but to have a life filled with little loves. So dream big, class of 2022. I say, if you want that big love, then go for it. Just don't lose sight of the people you love and the friends that define the journey.
Okay, are you ready? This is my first time, so I actually don't know what I'm doing. But it is obviously the moment you've all been waiting for, time to present our undergraduate degree candidates and to deliver your diploma cases.
Phoebe Gunn. Divya Jayasingh. Catherine Simmons. Miriam Mata. Kayla Samimi. Sari Eskenazi. Abigail Kim. Nicole Malik. Cynthia Lee. Samir Ahmed. Nicholas Park. Aaron Bell. Iva Ritchie. Natalie Osbeck. Malie Keita Curran. Jackson Abercrombie. Olena Les. William Henry. Ellen Minkin. Kane Vu. Risha Anamaraju. Lila Jones. Paris Bromber. Samantha McCready's. Zoe Brown. Ethan Quay. Olivia Wong. Evan Mihalakakos. Nalin Viramatikal. Julia Kewen. Rachel Korshad. Pratyek Kapalu. Zachary Coe. John Mohaber. Lily Shukyan. Young Cho. Brian Yui Fan. Christian Vega. Jose Iwaki Honore. Zachary McManus. Avi Patel. Sachin Narayan. Sana Shah. Kayla An. Simon Kim. Isabella O. Naomi O. Archana Yarlagada. Simran Kohli. Hoon Calling Fung. Anya Karana. Zainab Hassan. Sully Park. Ryan Guggenheim. Mindy Tran. Akshay Mundra. Andrew Dermanisian. Justin Shin. Gal Lapid. Andrew Otterson. Audrey Levine. Michaela Tamaro. Nathan Siebert. Madison House. Jocelyn Chen. Sandy Fi Ian Quach. Claudia Zhao. Maya Golub. Jordan Gasho. Madeline Dirian. Alondra Melendez. Ben Hanasabzadeh. Tatiana Pratt. Sarah Balai. Abigail Matthews. Anna Disler. Minju Kang. Kiara Yapari. Shania Tanuwijaya. Hadi Madka. Connor Monroe. Sophia Santoro. Alejandra Barreto. Alberto Carvajal Jr. Kushal Kohli. Berlin Chung. Nadeli Mendoza. Sophia Reyes. Megan Deng. Brianna Eileen Ramos. Kayla Suarez Lopez. V. Jennifer Wynn. Alexa Pakravan. Farishta Zazai. Patrick Gaikowski. Tam Hong. Serena Yee. Rachel Diag. Ishani Gupta. Donna Hashem. Natasha Hashemi. Rami Hassan. Efrata Abade. Renuka Kabir. Sheridan Coomer. Jared Yuan. Linda Kavanaugh. Madeline Hernandez. Hadi Shabazz. Bethlehem Asefa. Megan Pavi. Taylor Cloud. Tahila Sarir. Abigail Javidzad. Megan Sagian. Cassandra Liu. Marissa Anderson.
Well, that was really fun. It was the first time I got to be on this side of that, and that was just wonderful. Let's give a big round of applause to Steve. Way to go, Steve. Saying everyone's name. Way to go, Steve. Yes. We do want to thank everyone in the Global Health and Health Promotion Office. Thank you for making all of this possible. Thank you for all the advising, all the support throughout the entire 4 years and beyond. So yes, let's give them one more round of applause. Before we go, I also just want to thank everyone here in the Town and Gown staff that make everything so beautiful and run smoothly for us. So thank you to facilities and to everyone here at USC. I also want to send a special thank you to the back to Noah Trong, our pianist for the day. A little story, Noah actually I've known since he was a little boy. He graduated high school with my son, and he's currently a music major here at USC, and when we needed a pianist, we knew who to call. So thank you so much, Noah. It's the Trojan family. So again, I just want to thank our faculty, our parents, our siblings, and other family members, and especially I want to thank all of our 2022 graduates. Congratulations, thank you. Yay. A lot of people have mentioned, but I want to say it again, this is not the end of our relationship. We're going to continue being there for you, to mentor you, to support you, I have my Monday lunches. Reach out, come have lunch with me. Just because you've graduated, now you're an alumni, and you're still part of the Trojan family more than ever. So again, a huge round of applause for our graduates, and round of applause, standing ovation. Let's go ahead and give them all yeah, we got it. And now let's go party. It's time for the celebration to begin.